Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 1, In the next life, I will marry you. The weather today seems a bit dull. Even if you are sitting in the car, you can still feel the heavy depressive air outside. Gu Qingyao sat in the back seat, thinking about the things in her heart. After so many years, I finally made a decision in my heart to marry that man. I was entangled in the past, but at this moment, there is a lot of sweetness in my heart. Gu Qingyao knows that I really fall in love with him. It was not his fault that year, and he has been making up for the past. Let him pass the past. At the gate of the military area compound, Gu Qingyao just got out of the car and saw a woman walking towards her. This woman was wearing a white dress. Even though she was not too young, her elegance and nobility still involuntarily exuded. She is a big beauty. Bai Yuran looked at Gu Qingyao, who was even more beautiful than herself. Her beautiful pupils flashed with crazy jealousy, and a sneer of disdain appeared at the corner of her mouth, and said sarcastically, "Look at your mood, it seems pretty good. Ha! Marry one. You can still accept the man who once raped him, your heart is really big. It's no wonder that a girl like you who grew up in the country, can marry a wealthy family like the Mo family. It's a blessing for 8 years of cultivation. Fortunately, he raped you back then. Otherwise, where would you have the chance to marry him?" What? Gu Qingyao clenched her fists. This was her nightmare. It is also the biggest pain in her heart. Bai Yuran liked Mo Beihan, but Mo Beihan didn't like her. In order to get Mo Beihan, this woman did not hesitate to give him medicine. But Mo Beihan was unwilling, and escaped, but when he came back, he met her. It was night at that time, and she was the only one in the room, lying on the bed, feeling helpless. Her throat was drugged by Zhang Xiaowei and Yun Ruoqing's mother and daughter, and she couldn't even shout. Although Mo Beihan had a medicinal attack, he still retained some sanity and was not willing to hurt her. Mo Beihan was about to leave. As soon as he arrived at the door, another man turned into her room from the back window. The most wretched man came at her, and he would defile her when he entered the room and saw her. She was weak at the time, couldn't run away, and couldn't yell out. Only she knew the kind of panic and despair. Fortunately, Mo Beihan heard the movement and came back to rescue her. She was only 15 years old at the time, and when she encountered this kind of thing in the middle of the night, she was so terrified that she had a nervous breakdown and fainted. Mo Beihan was afraid that something might happen to her, so he didn't dare to leave, so he could only guard by the bedside, and when the medicine passed, he lay on her bedside and fell asleep. The next day, it just got dark, and things broke out. Zhang Xiaowei and Yun Ruoqing brought someone to catch the rape. It was in the 1970s, and it was still in a special period. It was conservative and backward, closed and turbulent. The management of the relationship between men and women was very strict. If Mo Beihan had not taken all the responsibilities with all his strength, she would probably be criticized to death. At that time, no one cared whether she had a relationship with Mo Beihan, her reputation was completely ruined. In the turbulent 70s, she lived through infinite panic and spurned by thousands of people. It is precisely because of this that she has been unable to let go of this knot. Throughout her teenage years, in such a conservative era, such rumors were enough to stimulate her to go crazy. From then on, she was afraid of men, including Mo Bei. Cold. Mo Beihan has been trying his best to make up for so many years. After so many years, she was finally willing to accept him and marry him. Bai Yuran. Gu Qingyao strives to keep herself calm. Don't be fooled, the other party is deliberately stimulating you. Gu Qingyao curled her lips, confronted Bai Yuran's eyes straight, and smiled. Look at your tone, it's so sour. I see, you are actually jealous of me in your heart. I wish it was you who was raped by him back then. You can marry him, right? You. Bai Yuran's pretty face was instantly distorted. Ah, right. Gu Qingyao's smile widened. I still want to thank you. If it weren't for the medicine you gave him back then, my country girl might really have no chance to marry a rich family like the Mo family. You are such a good person. Ah, shut up. Bai Yuran thought of this, and the jealous whole person was not good, especially Gu Qingyao even showed it off to her. Bitch! What are you? But a wild girl in the country dared to marry Bei Han. You are not worthy. Not worthy. Go to you. This time, Bai Yuran was thoroughly stimulated by the news that Gu Qinyao was about to marry Mo Bei Han, and rushed over to push Gu Qinyao abruptly. However, there was the main road behind, and a car happened to pass by. Gu Qinyao wanted to avoid it, but it was too late. Yao Yao. With a heart-piercing cry, just before she was hit, she watched the man who had been waiting for her life rushing towards her. Don't. Don't. One is from Gu Qinyao, and the other is from Bai Yuran. All told Mo Bei Han not to come. Boom. The violent collision drove the two into flight. No. Bai Yuran screamed like crazy when she saw that Mo Bei Han had also been hit. When she rushed over, another truck passed by, and the ear-piercing whistle sounded. Gu Qinyao lay on the ground and watched Bai Yuran's thin body hit into flight. The truck was carrying heavy cargo and the brakes could not stop. Bai Yuran was crushed by the truck from her lower body when she landed. The huge wheel ran over her thigh, directly crushing the dancing legs into meatloaf. That beautiful face was ruined by rubbing it on the ground. Gu Qinyao, who has been a doctor since she was a child, actually felt that Bai Yuran should not have died, but the rest of life is definitely better than death. Disfigurement, add a broken leg. Also, killed myself and Mo Bei Han. This place is monitored, haha. At the last moment of consciousness, she looked at the man in front of her. Mo Bei Han's consciousness has gradually blurred, and he is holding Gu Qingyao's hand tightly at this moment. Yao Yao. In the next life, I will marry you. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 2, Yao Yao, I like you so much. In the kitchen, Mo Bei Han was desperately pouring water from the water tank onto his head. Damn it. That Bai Yuran simply didn't know any shame, and even gave herself such a heavy medicine. It has been so long and the medicine is still so strong. When Gu Qinyao came in, she saw Mo Bei Han lying next to the water tank, soaked all over. Brother Bei Han. Mo Bei Han was taken aback. Who asked you to come over? Hurry up and stay away from me. Isn't this girl coming over at this time to torture him? The medicine is too fierce, his whole body is hot, his feet are vain, and he feels that his body is full of strength. Such a young girl standing in front of him so cutely, or someone he wants to like, is simply challenging his endurance. Seeing that he was unsteady, Gu Qinyao hurried over to support him. This was even more fatal to Mo Bei Han. Grandpa Gu Qinyao studied medicine. This little girl has been studying with Grandpa since she was a child. She has a faint smell of medicine. He has been smelling it for so many years in the previous life, and the more she smells it, the more she becomes fascinated. Now as soon as she approaches, the girl's body is soft and fragrant, it's terrible. Hurry up, Yao Yao, Mo Bei Han's voice was hoarse, and his eyes were full of fascination when he looked at Gu Qinyao. He has liked this girl for a lifetime, so he wanted to pounce. He collapsed on the ground, Gu Qinyao hugged him, and the moonlight outside the door spilled in. From his perspective, he just saw the girl's beautiful profile face, small and exquisite earlobes and beautifully lined neck. After all, I couldn't hold it back. Bei Han looked up and touched her cheek lightly. It's soft, fragrant, and feels great. Holding the warm person, so alive, no longer the person who was hit by a car and fell into a pool of blood in his mind, Mo Bei Han was very satisfied, leaning on her shoulder, and whispered, Yao Yao, how am I? Like you. At this time, Gu Qinyao had already taken out the silver needle and stuck a few needles on him. Mo Bei Han stiffened, and then relaxed. In a daze, he seemed to see Gu Qinyao smiling at him, and then a pill was stuffed into his mouth. The pill melted in the mouth, and then the feeling of coolness spread, and the heat on his body gradually receded. After tossing for so long, Mo Bei Han was also tired, leaning in Gu Qinyao's arms, and gradually fell asleep. Gu Qinyao just hugged him like this, his face in the moonlight was so young, not as vicissitudes of life in the memory of previous lives, they were a couple since they were childhood sweethearts, but unfortunately because of this incident, they were calculated to miss their lives. If Bai Yuran hadn't drugged him, she would have married him when she grew up to an age. Gu Qingyao's eyes also sent a cold, by Yuran, Gu Ruoqing, please wait for me. Gu Qingyao didn't let Mo Beihan sleep for long, because Zhang Xiaohui and Gu Ruoqing's mother and daughter would bring someone to catch the when it was about to dawn. It is now in the 1970s. The conservative is terrible, and the relationship between men and women is especially strict. It is still dangerous to see them like this. After all, Mo Beihan was hiding something in his heart, and he didn't sleep soundly. When Gu Qingyao called, he woke up. Brother Beihan. When Mo Beihan woke up, he looked at the surroundings and was startled. What time is it now? He quickly took out his watch and took a look. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and Zhang Xiaohui and the others were coming over in a while. He got up quickly. Yao Yao, Brother Beihan still has things to do. You go home with me first, okay? I'll take you back. Don't tell anyone about today's things, otherwise it's not good for you, do you know? That bad guy, Bei Brother Han will deal with it, so don't be afraid. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 3, he likes her, it's true. Gu Qingyao knew what would happen next, so there was no objection. Mo Beihan went to the house and changed into clean clothes, packed up the luggage here, and took all of them into the car. This car is a military car. He is a soldier. Although he came back this time on vacation, he still had a task. It needed a car before the troops were assigned one. In the 1970s, there were very few cars. There are so few tractors. Mo Beihan drove, Gu Qingyao sat in the back, and the two left here directly. That night, Gu Qingyao hardly slept much. At this moment, she took out the quilt in the salute and lay in the back. The quilt is a unique cotton quilt of this era. The quilt is a very ordinary fabric. Compared with the quilt she used in the previous life, it is far worse. But at the moment, Gu Qingyao is extremely relieved with such a quilt. Rebirth. She was born again. It changed the most tragic moment of the previous life and successfully left with Mo Beihan early. The car went all the way, leaving the urban area of Linjiang, heading for the county seat. When he reached a deserted area on the road, Mo Beihan stopped the car and came to the back seat. Mo Beihan was also excited at the moment. Looking at the little girl in front of him, he really wanted to marry her home immediately, but his Yao Yao was only 15 years old and was not an adult. Yao Yao. Okay. Last night, I went out on a mission, and I was given medicinal materials. Don't be afraid, let alone tell others, is it okay? What if you are listened to by someone with a heart? It will be bad for your reputation. Also, for the man who ran in last night, Beihan will go and clean him up. After you go back, you will assume that you don't know anything. If someone asks, you just insist that I'm worried about you being there. It's not safe, so I took you home early, you know. Gu Qingyao nodded very obediently. Understood. Thinking of what Gu Qingyao did last night, Mo Beihan wondered, what did you eat for me last night? Did you carry a silver needle? Gu Qingyao nodded, I brought you a pill. I saw it in a medical book and tried to do it. Gu Qingyao studied medicine, and Mo Beihan knew some medical skills, so he didn't doubt her words at all. It's just a pity that if Yao Yao in the previous life did the same, then all the tragedies would not happen. This life will be different. It must be that she saved her and didn't scare her, so she can be so calm, right? In the previous life, she couldn't move, and she was put on the bed by the and wanted to be unruly. Thinking of her being unable to move, the murderous intent in Mo Beihan's eyes flashed, Zhang Xiaohui's mother and daughter, he would definitely not let go. The matter was handled smoothly, Gu Qingyao was not harmed, and Mo Beihan relaxed. You haven't rested much, so hurry up and sleep a little longer. When I get to the county seat, I will call you. Let's eat something there before going back. Gu Qingyao lay down obediently, Mo Beihan covered her with the quilt and rubbed her head. This little girl, I must love her and pet her well in this life, and never let her be wronged again. In the first life, although it was in the 1970s when materials were scarce, Mo Beihan, who had previous life experience, was full of confidence that he would definitely make Yao Yao live a good life. The car started again, and Gu Qinyao watched Mo Beihan driving ahead. He likes her, it's true. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 4, In this life, revenge is a must. They lived close to each other. He liked her since he was a child and always treated her as a young wife. Later, he became a soldier and got a salary. Every time he tried to make good things and bring them back to her. Give her pocket money, buy her clothes, buy her snacks. He really regarded her as a little wife from the heart. But unexpectedly, Bai Yuran and Gu Ruoqing had calculated it so miserable. In the previous life, because of this incident, both of them paid a tragic price. Zhang Xiaohui and Gu Ruoqing's mother and daughter went around to preach that she was almost criticized. It was Mo Beihan who had to bear everything to keep her, but her reputation was still ruined. At that time, the lifestyle issue was investigated very strictly. Because of this incident, he was punished by the army, demoted him, recorded a big demerit, and was dispatched to the most remote and hardest frontier troops and went on the battlefield. The battlefield, in this age, rarely comes back alive. After returning from the dead, he has been desperately protecting her during that time. It is a pity that this era is too chaotic and too conservative, and her life is terrible. Everyone spurned her. Gu's family is inherently bad. Her grandfather is a big landlord, and her grandmother is the daughter of the old Shanghai big capitalist. Such a composition is utterly bad. Because of her incident, the Gu family has plunged into a life like hell. She was mentally unstable, she couldn't get out of bed after a serious illness, and under the total blow, her spirit was completely broken. Yun Ruoqing. Bai Yuran. In this life, I will make you pay a painful price. Gu Qinyao closed her eyes and began to check space materials. After being born again, Gu Qinyao was very excited, and this space followed her back, which made her even more excited. In this space, past lives have accompanied him for decades. In my ears, there is the sound of a military car unique to this era, and a cotton quilt that is unique to this era is clutched in my hand. Looking at the various materials in the space, Gu Qingyao's mouth can't help but arouse. This space was discovered half a year after the accident in her previous life. The whole space is divided into two parts, one part is a warehouse, and the time inside is static, and it can only hold dead objects, things with life characteristics cannot be inserted. On the other side, people can get in. This is a peculiar space, which is black land with pond water source, but the space is not large, only about 10 acres of land at most. There are various herbs, fruits, flowers and so on that she planted in her previous life, and there is also a house built by Mo Beihan with her next to her, which contains all the daily necessities. In the past life, I encountered that kind of thing, and everyone spurned her, making Gu's already sad days more and more distressed. She wanted to commit suicide, but found this space by accident. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 5, Abundant Materials. The time in the space is very different from the outside world. The things grown inside will mature quickly, and the family has been caring about her and taking care of her. In order to bring more food to the family, she gritted her teeth under the care of her family. Come down. In the 1970s, food was the most scarce thing, and many people starved to death. Gu's family composition is not good, and she often does a lot of work but can't get enough food. With her space, she can guarantee the life of the whole family. Later, when she became rich, she began to store various materials in the spatial warehouse. Mo Beihan rose all the way, and the Gu family later developed and went to the capital. People in the capital city, because Mo Beihan treats him well, they attacked her under jealousy and satirized her with the shadow in her heart, and Bai Yuran was the most prosperous. She doesn't like the capital city. Mo Beihan will take her to run all over the country, go hunting for strange things, and find all kinds of food whenever he is free. A lot of them are bought and put in the space. Her brothers run restaurants and food companies. Many raw materials are shipped by her. Super save money. Because of the problem of hoarding goods in the previous life, and not bad for money, the space at this time is very rich in materials. There are more than 200,000 caddies of rice, 100,000 caddies of flour, more than 60,000 caddies of cornmeal, 10,000 boxes of various kinds of dried noodles, various beans and coarse grains together, it is estimated that it will be about 100,000 caddies. These are all specially purchased in large quantities for use in their own supermarkets and restaurants. These things are purchased in large quantities from some sources, and they are really super cheap. The most left is fruits and meat. Mo Behan has taken her to Tibet more than once. He drove a large truck to travel around and collected a lot of beef, mutton and horse meat. Adding all the local specialties made with these meats, it adds up to 40,000 to 50,000 caddies. I also went to the countryside and bought a lot of local chickens, grass eggs and so on. Because there is a food company at home, she uses a lot of eggs. She buys a lot of them. Now there are more than 50,000 in the warehouse. Seeing that she was hoarding goods, Mo Behan ran to her and told her that this space might not have appeared for no reason. Maybe, the end of the world is coming, and maybe they are going through it. Let her stock up some more goods, in case they travel back to ancient times one day in the future. They can also raise some army, occupy the mountain as the king and become a bandit. She was amused on the spot. Of course, it was even more joyful to stock up. There are more than 2,000 roast ducks in Beijing alone. There is no way, except to travel through ancient times, maybe the end of the world will come. She always has to stock enough food for so many relatives and friends at home. The staple food of rice and flour was enough, so she went to buy all kinds of cooked food. I bought more than 10,000 famous xylongbayos everywhere, one for each steamer and one for each steamer. There were also many pastries from various places, and she also saved a lot of them. Even those famous cakes, she kept hundreds of them, and kept them at home. Used on birthdays. Chuandi's hot pot has more than 500 copies, including Mala Tang. Of course, her favorite crayfish is the most. Because my family loves to eat, I bought more than 2,000 caddies and put them in a stainless steel bucket. When I want to eat, I just take some out to eat. Time is still in the space warehouse, and things are just as they are put in and taken out. Hot things go in, no matter how long they take out, they are still hot. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 6, Back to the County. Roast chicken, old duck soup, old goose pot, grilled fish, roast leg of lamb, kebab, etc., are bought in hundreds of copies. Anyway, there are hotels and large restaurants in the family business. She is not at all worried that after buying so many things, there will be nowhere to sell. Mo Behan once took her to travel in the south and visited the planting bases of many fruit growers. She once encountered a situation where the market was not good and the fruit could not be sold. She once spent 5,000 yuan to buy more than 60,000 caddies of oranges. In Taoyuan, I bought more than 100,000 caddies of yellow peaches for 30,000 yuan. Huang Tao. It costs 10 yuan a caddy or more in the capital, and here, there are still many people full of fruits that cannot be sold. Many moonlight people who eat soil in big cities simply can't eat some fruits, but in the orchard base here, they can only rot in the ground to make fertilizer. I bought tens of thousands of kilograms of big watermelon for 1,000 yuan. The watermelon was big and sweet. She saw it very rare, but the boss could let her take it away without money. I bought countless Chinese cabbage for 2,000 yuan. The Chinese cabbage can sell for about 10 yuan per one in supermarkets in the city. It depends on the market. However, she doesn't need to look at the market. I bought it directly and put it in the spatial warehouse. The price was almost negligible, like carrots and winter melon, and I brought it to the capital and put it in my own restaurant. The price was completely different. Mo Behan also took her to the beach, and bought countless fish, shrimp, crabs, kelp and other seafood, especially crayfish. In summer, they are really good for sale. Although living things can't be stored in the space warehouse, the fish and shrimps can only be frozen, and they won't be damaged for long in the space. This large warehouse can store a lot of things. It's really a bargain to buy things from the source. In order to quickly consume the space and materials, she opened several more restaurants, and there are several chain supermarkets under her name. Gu Qinyao closed her eyes and counted the materials in the space. In her previous life, Mo Behan took her to run all over the country whenever she had time, and collected a lot of materials. In 10 or 20 years, almost everything is available in this space. The variety is more complete than the supermarket. Clothes, shoes, bags and bags of various fabrics, firewood, rice, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar and tea, and specialty products from almost all parts of the country. Gu Qingyao swallowed, so hungry. My current self, in the 1970s, lacks food, hasn't seen any meat and fish for a long time, and often can't eat enough. There are a lot of delicious foods that can be eaten in the space, and there are even a lot of rice and rice porridge that she cooked for convenience, all packed in big buckets. I really want to eat it. However, Mo Beihan was a soldier, and he was very vigilant. He was by his side at this time, and Gu Qingyao was a little afraid. Forget it. She was reborn once, the suffering of the previous life was eased, and she was already very satisfied with bringing such supplies back. We must know that although a lot of space items have been sold, there are still a lot left. Unexpectedly, Mo Beihan's joke would come true. It's just that it is not the end of the world, nor is it traveling back to ancient times, but that it is reborn in these 70 years. When she comes back, the family won't have to go hungry. Gu Qingyao slept for a while, 40 minutes or so, before arriving at the county seat. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 7. The county seat is much behind the city. It is really backward and dilapidated. At this time there are very few buildings, unless it is the kind of collective two buildings. Most of the county towns are brick houses, which makes Gu Qingyao, who is used to seeing high-rise buildings in modern times, a little bit unable to adapt. Mo Beihan first took Gu Qingyao to the state-owned hotel. They haven't eaten anything in the morning, Yao Yao must be hungry. Mo Beihan, who came back to life for the first time, would definitely not let Gu Qingyao suffer at all. Mo Beihan is a soldier, wearing a military uniform. People of this era admire soldiers very much, so as soon as Mo Beihan came in, a waitress inside greeted him very warmly. Serving the people, what would comrades want to eat? Unity is strength. Is there meat in today's supply? Yes, today our restaurant received half a fan of pork. We have ordered a few portions, and there are some left. Mo Beihan thought for a while, and said, then let's have a stewed pork vermicelli, a rib soup, a braised pork, and a stir-fried bean sprouts, then 2 rice, 10 steamed buns, and 20 scallion pancakes. Just now, Gu Qingyao was still embarrassed by the dialogue mode, but there was no way. This era is like this. She is thinking that this is the key. She also has to reuse the quotations she remembered before. In this era, these things are necessary. As a result, he was frightened by Mo Beihan's order. No. Not so much. You can't finish eating, pack and take it home. It's not easy to come to the county after you go back. There are still people at home. It's rare to have meat today. You can definitely get it. Yao Yao is too skinny, and Gu's family is also a home for big landlords. If Grandpa Gu and Dad Gu are both doctors and have been treating people in their hometown, Gu's family still doesn't know what the persecution is like. Even so, Gu's life was not easy, and it was difficult for Yao Yao to eat some meat all year round. Such a 15-year-old girl was just when she was growing up, and he couldn't bear her suffering. Mo Beihan couldn't refuse, and went straight to pay the money and ticket, and took Gu Qingyao to sit down in the empty seat on the side. The food came quickly. When I saw the red braised pork, it was undeniable that Gu Qingyao was greedy. Thinking that she had fallen to the point where she was about to drool over a plate of braised pork, Gu Qingyao secretly cursed herself for nothing. But seeing Gu Qingyao like this, Mo Beihan was heartbroken. His baby has suffered so much from snacking, and was so miserable by him in the previous life. How difficult is it for a little girl? Never let her suffer again in this life. Hurry up and eat while it is hot, and I'll take you home later. Gu Qingyao was really hungry, picked up the chopsticks and started eating. And time went back a bit. In the city, less than 15 minutes after Mo Beihan took Gu Qingyao away, Gu Ruoqing returned with Gu Yunshen, and Grandpa Gu Qinghua, along with many people wearing red armbands. Gu Ruoqing and her mother Zhang Xiaoyi ran the fastest. Looking closely, they could not hide the pride in their eyes. Little bitch, what else can you do this time? I want to send you out to fight to death. Ahead, just ahead. Gu Ruoqing said excitedly. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 8, Short-Term Father. But when they ran to the place, they found that this small courtyard had actually locked the door. Looking at the lock on the door, Gu Ruoqing and Zhang Xiaohui were dumbfounded. Seeing that the door was locked, Guyan frowned. What's going on? Yao Yao. This is to question Gu Ruoqing. Both he and his father are doctors, and today they came to the city to see a doctor and buy something by the way. Gu Ruoqing insisted on following, saying that she came to the city to see, and she also wanted to bring Gu Qinyao. Gu Qinyao was also a girl, so naturally she wanted to come out and buy something. Guyan felt sorry for his little daughter, so he agreed to bring their two sisters over. Zhang Xiaohui would also follow, and everyone came together. He and his father were called away in the middle of the night, because the patient's condition worsened, and it turned out that before dawn, Gu Ruoqing and Zhang Xiaohui ran up in a panic and yelled that there were bad people in the house. They were all frightened and asked them to go back. Only Gu Qinyao was at home. Gu Yunshan couldn't sit still, and hurried to rescue her daughter. Gu Ruoqing and Zhang Xiaohui yelled so badly that they attracted all these red-sleeved soldiers. I obviously saw a man entering this room. Yao Yao was at home alone. You are talking nonsense. How did you see it? What you mean is that Yao Yao is alone if you are not in the house with your mother. It's not like that day. What are you two doing outside? Why is Yao Yao alone? Also, where are the bad guys? Now that the law and order are so good, everyone is fine. What are you talking about? Gu Yunshan interrupted Gu Ruoqing furiously. This Gu Ruoqing basically wanted to ruin Gu Qingyao's reputation. When Gu Yunshan said this, Gu Ruoqing was so frightened that she did not dare to speak. In today's era, you can't just say that there are bad people. This is damaging the image of the country and is going to be criticized. Sure enough, when Gu Yunshan said so, the red-sleeved soldiers next to him looked at Gu Ruoqing with bad eyes. Before they could speak, Gu Yunshan said, Beihan's car is no longer there. It is estimated that Beihan has taken Yao Yao away temporarily. Ask the people around you to see if anyone saw it. Just as Gu Yunshan wanted to ask, an ant from the house next door came out. Seeing the red-sleeved soldier, she was so frightened that she stretched her head and cautiously said, Don't look for it. The soldier said he is in a hurry. You have to leave first. He said that the girl in this room will take her home first, so that you can go home directly after you finish the work. After speaking, she hurried home and closed the door. Guyan heaved a sigh of relief, and said to the red-sleeved soldiers, It should be a misunderstanding. Bei Han is a soldier and a neighbor there. We grew up watching our daughter. My daughter knows her. He may have temporary tasks, but he doesn't. Don't worry about my daughter staying here alone, so I sent her home in advance. For the soldiers, people at this time all worship and respect, so these people didn't say much, but warned Gu Ruoqing and Zhang Xiaohui to let them be okay not to yell indiscriminately and so on. Gu Ruoqing quickly agreed with Zhang Xiaohui. After sending those people away, Gu Yun turned his head and looked at Gu Ruoqing's eyes. The coldness was imprinted from his bones. Since you are so dishonest, you will stay at home for me from now on and never even want to go out. Gu Ruoqing's face paled in shock. Zhang Xiaohui still wanted to talk, but Gu Yunshan ignored her and took the old man back to see the patient, regardless of Gu Ruoqing and Zhang Xiaohui's mother and daughter. After the two left, Gu Ruoqing became anxious. Mom, Dad is too partial. He knows he loves Gu Qinyao and never loves me. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 9, I want to buy you a lot of good things. The same as the daughter, Gu Yunshan, the father, has a very different attitude towards the two daughters. Gu Qinyao is the treasure in his palm, but Gu Ruoqing is very cold. Gu Ruoqing complained about Gu Yun's deep partiality here, but she forgot that her mother Zhang Xiaohui also preferred her, and treated Gu Qinyao with an expression of wishing to ruin her, just like an enemy. Today's scene is calculated by the two of them. I found a little and prepared to destroy Gu Qinyao. Gu's family composition is not good. If Gu Qinyao makes such a scandal again, she will definitely be killed by Shintang. No matter how bad she is, she will be criticized to death. Then, how arrogant she will be. What a pity, it didn't work. Mo Beihan suddenly took Gu Qingyao away, mad at them. On the other side, in the county town, Gu Qingyao ate a greasy meal to her full stomach, and was finally satisfied. Mo Beihan looked at her with this small appearance, again funny and distressed. Packed all the rest of the food, and then left with Gu Qingyao. But at this time, he wasn't in a hurry. After leaving the city, the two were safe. The tragedies of the previous life would not happen again. Just be careful in the future and Yao Yao would be fine. Seeing that Gu Qingyao's clothes were all coarse linen, with patches, Mo Beihan took her directly to the supply and marketing agency. What are you doing here? Gu Qingyao was very excited when she came back from her birth. In fact, at this time, she even wanted to go home and have a look at her grandma who had passed away in her previous life. Mo Beihan said, "Buy you something. I finally had a family visit. I will return to the army afterwards. It will be inconvenient to buy good things for you." Gu Qingyao did not speak, she looked at herself. In fact, there are many good things in the space, and everything for food and clothing is available, but unfortunately it is not convenient to take them out. "No, Brother Beihan, I want to go home, okay?" She wanted to go home to see her grandma. After her previous life, her grandma had passed away, and she was still worried about her before she died. She really wanted to go back to see her grandma. Now that the grandma is at home alone, she will definitely not eat well and pack so many things. At this time, she rushed back, just in time for her to have lunch. Mo Beihan looked at Gu Qingyao like this, and thought she was frightened last night and wanted to go home quickly, so he didn't embarrass her anyway. He wanted to buy good things for Yao Yao, so he would come back later. "Let's do it then. Let's go to the grocery store and buy some meat back. You will eat better when you go home, okay?" Just a moment. How could that be enough for the state-run restaurant just now? Yao Yao is so thin that she has to make up for it. Gu Qingyao thought for a while, but did not refuse. Even if the things in the space are taken out, there must be good things in the outside world. She slowly adds some weight, but she can't come out of thin air. The two came to the grocery store. There is absolutely no shortage of vegetables for the family. The rural people grow food and vegetables by themselves, and every household has them. Therefore, Mo Beihan mainly ran for meat dishes. There were only 2 caddies of spare ribs and a big fish left in the grocery store. Mo Beihan bought it all, and then brought Gu Qingyao back to the place of Gu's home, Qinghe Brigade. The Qinghe Brigade has fertile soil and relatively good harvests, so life here is better than that of some surrounding brigades. But it was just a little better. In the 1970s, the days in nowhere were really good. Rebirth, Divine Doctor, Sweet Wife Chapter 10, Qinghe Gujiao. This is a place chosen by Gu's ancestors. Later, the war broke out and the world was unstable, so Gu's family moved all here for stability. Gu's ancestor was a big landlord, and all the land in Qinghe Brigade belonged to the Gu family before. His home was ransacked, and all the fields were distributed to farmers. The Gu family lived on the edge of Qinghe Brigade, halfway up the mountain, and lived alone. Because their family is a bad man, other people stay away from them. Grandpa Gu Chonghua is a big landlord, and Grandma Wen Ruyu is the daughter of the old Shanghai big capitalist. The composition of these two people can be said to be broken to the bone. Fortunately, Grandpa Gu donated a lot of property to support the war, and he and his younger son have been practicing medicine for the villagers. The eldest son and the second son joined the army again. This is how the family lives in peace. Soldiers, regardless of their composition, are respected. But in this era, there is not necessarily a doctor in Shaliba village. Many people have to wait to die when they are sick. The presence of the Gu family and his son in Qinghe Brigade really makes the people feel a lot safer. Mo Beihan drove Gu Qingyao all the way to Gu's house. Seeing this familiar bullpen in his memory, Gu Qingyao's eyes suddenly became red. That's right, it's the bullpen. Their family lives in a cowshed. Gu's family is a bad element. After the founding of the People's Republic of China, they were ransacked. Their grandparents were all arranged in this cowshed for labor reform, doing the dirtiest and tiring tasks, and taking the least work points. Grandparents were getting older, and my father was worried at the time, so he moved into the cowshed with the old couple. At that time, their family was on the cusp of the storm. Even if they could build a house alone, they didn't dare to move. In this era, there is a shortage of food, and cattle are the main labor force in the busy period of farming, so these cattle are almost better than people. Although the bullpen is a bullpen, it is a stone and brick structure, which is better than many houses in Qinghe Brigade. Gu's family lives next to the cowshed, separated by a wall from the cowshed. On the other side of the wall is the fodder, and next to the fodder are the animals. The livestock in Gu's house were placed some distance away, not because Gu's house would be cleaner and less smelly if they were farther away, but because the forage house was better than Gu's house. The best place is for the cows to live, the fodder is for the cows to eat, and the cows should not be hungry. As for the people in the Gu family, those people wanted to get them all in the cowshed to live with the cows. Thinking of these past, Gu Qingyao is all sad. Seeing her eyes were red, Mo Beihan felt very distressed. He thought that his Yao Yao was crying aggrievedly because of what happened last night, and now he returned home. Yao Yao. After being called by him, Gu Qingyao returned to her senses, and quickly adjusted her emotions. Before she had time to say anything, she hurriedly entered the yard. In the yard, Grandma Wen Ryu was washing her clothes. Seeing Gu Qingyao came back, she was taken aback. Yao Yao. Why are you back? So fast. Where are your grandfather and your father? Grandma's age is already very old, her hair is almost white, and her face looks windy and frosty. Seeing her grandma, Gu Qingyao almost cried. She encountered that kind of thing in her previous life. Grandma was worried all her life until she finally passed away. She was still worried about her future, saying that she was the one who was most at ease. Obviously she and Mo Beihan are both good children, and both of them like each other, but they were calculated to be that way and suffered so much.